the customized marketing plans, social media marketing and training, and web design strategy. And most recently, I'm doing Facebook Live interviews, like the people here with Michelle. She's the owner of Focus on Fabulous Photography and Focus on Fabulous Magazine. I think it's really great that you took the time, Michelle, to meet with me today. I'm sure you're busy. I know how much work. I used to work in magazines, and I know how much work that takes.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's such a fun magazine because, you know, it's got... My favorite aspect when I got to know you in the beginning was you really celebrate every woman's beauty, right? The shape, the size. So many of us has grown up with the idea of what beauty is. So I think it's great how you celebrate that. Where do you think that confidence comes from?
Well, there's several aspects. There's so many magazines out there that are geared on beauty or on health and wellness or on any certain thing. My magazine, or even celebrities, and I think we're kind of putting the wrong image into young people's heads and just in general. And our magazine focuses on, you know, everyday people living extraordinary lives. We all have something to offer. We all have something beautiful and something fabulous. And it actually all stemmed through my photography business as a result of my divorce. After, you know, a 25-year marriage, I was just kind of feeling like damaged goods. You know, I was in my late 40s, hitting my 50s, felt like, you know, nobody who'd want me, you know. And I just had a friend tell me, you know, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're smart. You just need to, you know, see what other people see. And I thought, you know, there's so many people out there that we don't see what other people see. And we need to focus on that and gain our confidence back. And so that's our mission, is to do that.
I think that's really cool, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really great that you do that. And my other favorite aspect to it is you celebrate, like you said, the everyday woman, that you're not just highlighting some celebrity that everybody else talks about. So that's really cool. And I really like how each article has a different point of view. What topics do you say that you address? Is it pretty wide?
It is, because as women we are very versatile and very diverse. I like to really prod people and pull out things that they don't like to talk about or that they don't like to necessarily, especially as a photographer. You know, nobody likes to get their picture taken for the most part. Nobody, you know, likes to toot their own horn. And so we love to say, no, you know, you have beautiful hair or beautiful eyes, or, you know, this is an amazing story. Somebody needs to hear this. I just recently did an article with a 76-year-old woman who, she's like, oh, if you wrote all this, nobody would believe that one person could do all of this stuff. And I said, but people need to know that you won an award from President George Bush that only 150 of them in the entire world are given. You know, people need to know that there are exceptional people in this world walking among us every single day.
That's really great. You know, and one of my questions I want to ask you, I think it's interesting, your piece on doing the mundane. Why do you take the time to highlight women who do typical male jobs?
Well, Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did, only backwards and in high heels. I'm the oldest of 8 children living in my household when I was being raised, and so I was kind of born into that leadership role. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those, if we as women, we can do it. If we set our minds to it, we can do anything that guys can do.
Right.
Men will argue there's a strength thing, and it's okay, I'll give them that. But there are women firemen, women policemen, women welders, women, you know, and they're making less money than men, but we won't even go on that topic. They deserve to be recognized that they are in, you know, there's women in combat. My son had a woman kicker on his football team.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, a little high school girl. So there's tons of women out there that are, you know, they're making their way and making a name for themselves in a male-dominated industry, and whatever that might be. And so we love to showcase them and say, hey, you know, I can get my hands dirty and still look good and still be a woman.
That's true. That's a great point. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of people think that women, they're all, stilettos and lipstick. And we are very diverse, and we are stilettos and lipstick, but we can change our tire and our oil if we need to,
Except for me.
Well, I have a friend who she lets her husband pump her gas, but if we needed to, or if we wanted to, we could. We have that mentality.
I think that's great.
I have a decal in my kitchen that says, "I love a man with dishpan hands." I would love, it's the same thing. We love men who fold the laundry and do, there's whoever said, this is man's work, this is women's work. I don't know where that came from. And so we just really like showcasing that, we can all do anything that we set our minds to do.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, my favorite segment is the Passionately Driven. Now, would you say is that a segment on women who succeed in business, women who've overcome personal hardships?
The Passionately Driven was actually set up. I thought of it with the very first magazine. I met a young girl in her early 20s who was designing and building homes for homeless vets right here in Charleston. Mm-hmm. And she was so passionate about not just, giving these vets a handout, but really rehabilitating their lives. She was dealing with their mental capacities and starting their lives over. And she was so passionate about it that I started that column for her and showcased her. And then I have run into so many other women that are changing their world through their communities. Mm. They're one little person with a little GoFundMe or something that are trying to make a huge difference. And a lot of people, because these are kind of unsung heroes, they're not really out there. And I want the world to know that, hey, this is somebody that's really making an impact. And if you want to jump aboard, we've showcased a girl who runs an orphanage. She's in her 20s running an orphanage. And just all kinds of amazing, passionately driven people. I've run into some just incredible women.
Well, that's cool. I really like that. What would you say you attribute your success to?
Well, truly, the women that I've met. And I am the kind of person, I like collaborating. I guess I kind of have a gift for being, maybe it's that leadership person, me kind of really pulling out. Mm-hmm. I don't really I can't for an answer. When I hear your story and you say, oh, but I can't write, but I don't want, nobody's going to believe that. Or I have a way of pulling that out of you, and then you read it and you go, wow, I am fabulous. And I really attribute my success to that gift and being able to collaborate with other women and other businesses and say, hey, I know somebody who's really good at this or really great, has this story, and you need to talk to them and showcase them in your business, and just merging people together. Mm-hmm. And building those relationships and collaborating.
That's great. Another question I want to ask you is, I imagine it takes a lot of work to put a magazine together.
Yes, more so than I thought. Just on a whim, I was like, I'm already a photographer. I was a graphic designer for 20 years. I've been writing since I could pick up a pen, so I might as well just start a magazine. And then I was like, what was I thinking? I must be on crack. I mean, it is endless. Finding the content, doing the interviews, laying the whole thing out.
I'm sure.
And then the distribution, because subscriptions come in at different times, and then you have to remember who's expired and who's renewed, and are they a single issue? Are they complimentary? Or, there's so much involved, but it's so much fun. I mean, it is just, it's like a roller coaster. It's exciting and thrilling and nauseating and exhausting at the same time.
That's a good example.
It's just like that thrill and excitement that, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's very exciting.
That's cool. You've met people from so many different industries and backgrounds. What do you think you've learned the most? Like, what is it that has surprised you most out of the interviews or articles you've done?
I would have to say I don't know what the word for it is. lack of confidence that women overall tend to have in themselves. We know that we're multitaskers. We know that we do a lot. We know that we're, but if you ask a woman, tell me about yourself, inevitably she's going to say she's somebody's wife, mother, daughter, sister, aunt, whatever, or what she does for a living. And she's not going to say what her passions are, what her dreams or goals or aspirations are, what makes her tick. And so I think that is what really surprises me, is that we really don't toot our horns enough. And I'm not saying we should walk around going, oh, I'm so wonderful, I'm so, tip out me on the back. But we should realize that we are amazing people. And it reflects when we walk in the room. People go, I want what she's having, and just radiate that confidence.
That's amazing.
Because there's a difference between being cocky and being confident.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that as women, we're so busy being nurturers and doing for everybody else that we forget to do for ourselves. And if we would take a little more time to do for ourselves and to realize how valuable we are, our confidence level would boost up and it would radiate when we walk in the room.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, because, I think even some women that are even with all these degrees and such, and I know specifically some women that they still have that struggle, and I think it's this feeling, at least in my mind, with the competition that you have to deal with in the corporate America or the business world, and that questions your self-worth or your confidence. So it's a great point, and I guess that comes back to the whole value of the magazine. What would you say is the most compelling story of extraordinary women that you've done?
Oh, wow. I don't think I could really put a tag on one. I mean, I told you about the girl building the homes for vets and the one with the orphanage just recently. I mean, just recently there's a 70-year-old lady who was a police officer, a chaplain, and a constable. And now she's riding a motorcycle. And she's in a motorcycle group at 70 years old with her little spiked gray hair and her tattoos, and she's an amazing woman. I mean, I've run into some just absolutely, and I'm like, oh, people younger than me, women older than me, and I'm just like, I just want to rub off on you. They're just incredible, and they're just walking around us all the time, and we don't even realize. We're so busy in our little, just take a minute in front the person in front of you in the line at Walmart and say, tell me a story about yourself. Ask them a question. What do you, and you might really find out that this is an amazing person. So
that's
I really couldn't pinpoint one story. I'm usually very just like, I'll hear one little thing and I'm like, tell me more. I'm intrigued, and then there's like this whole, article about it. So it's very cool.
That's cool, because, Jessica O'Mara is one of my favorite stories because I met her.
Yep, she's one of them too. She was a passionately driven person in our article. She does proms for special needs kids.
I think that's great.
How amazing is that? And
particularly because I think it was her sister that she helps to, build her confidence, because there's so much of that stigma in society about someone with those kinds of conditions where you really want to feel that you're valued and you're accepted. So I thought that was a really cool article. I honestly didn't know all the details of her business until your article. So
and that's the other thing. The magazine is designed to educate people. We did a huge spread on epilepsy, on children with epilepsy. We have a mom who her husband is in the Air Force. He's enlisted. He travels quite a bit. She's basically a stay-at-home mom with 3 children. Her oldest has epilepsy. She's constantly dealing with that. And they have started a home business. And when I found out about how they came about the business, because their child was having these seizures as a result to something in the candles they were burning, so they started making their own candles. as a business to give proceeds back to the South Carolina Epilepsy Foundation.
Wow.
And so we took pictures of several local children that had epilepsy, and we found out that Prince and Lil Wayne and Danny Glover and Susan Boyle and Teddy Roosevelt, they all have epilepsy.
Wow.
And these kids are among greatness, and they can be anything they want to be. And we're focusing on what's good and beautiful and wonderful, and that you can do and be anything you want to do and be, and don't let anybody stop you.
That's incredible.
And really, pinpointing, like this woman, she wrote a whole article called "The Juggle Struggle" about being a mom and a military wife and a having a child with special issues and being a business owner, and how do you juggle all of that? Mm-hmm. And, it was a very uplifting and encouraging piece, especially for another mom who's just trying to raise a 2-year-old and keep a job. How do you handle that? So I find that when somebody writes something, it's both, it's therapeutic for the writer, but it's encouraging and uplifting for my readers. Because they're like, wow, I thought I was the only one. Or, geez, if she can do it, I can do it. And so it's that warm fuzzy, and so it's very cool.
Well, you were telling me at one point with your photography business, focus on family's creative photography, that you're considered a transformation artist. If you could explain to my audience that's not familiar with what you do.
I got dubbed a transformation artist because I bring out the things in people that they don't always see. As women, we don't typically like to get our pictures taken, and my specialty is kind of the ooh la la shots. And most women, they don't like to put on their skivvies in front of somebody and go, oh yeah, look at me, I'm all, But it doesn't matter if you're a size 2 or a 22. It doesn't matter if you're 22 or 82. You have body issues. Men have body issues. We all have body issues. And so I want to say, I spend a lot of time with my clients. Tell me what you like about your appearance. Okay, you have beautiful eyes. You have beautiful hair. You have those cute little cheeks. So maybe you have stretch marks you don't like on your stomach. So we'll do some pictures of you laying down. And we'll accentuate what is gorgeous about you, what's beautiful about you. And it's not going to be this plastic edited picture of you that doesn't look like you. It's going to be you, but it's going to bring out the fabulous in you. It's going to bring out what brings out your confidence. And so I basically transform, like the lady on the cover of this issue. This is our over 50 issue, and she doesn't ever get her picture taken. And I talked her into going on this model shoot with me, and we were down at the water, and I said, I want you just to go out there and play, and and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, and so then I just started joking with her and making her laugh, and we ended up, and she absolutely loves this picture. And then I put her on the cover, and she's like, oh my God, I'm on the cover of the magazine, and so it was a total confidence booster to her. Because she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and she's like, oh, I should wear makeup more often. I said, you should just be yourself more often, and realize that you are beautiful. And so that transformation is, she said that I awakened the dead in her. So
I like that.
That was very cool.
I have to admit, I'm very proud of the work you did in my photo. I have social media business. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. Wherever the heck I can go, I go. But people have given me recognition for the photo you've taken, because I'm not the type of person that's this or that, and I just love the picture because you helped my image a lot. So I think anybody that's in the Charleston area to contact Michelle for the photography, because for those of us that's on social media or just really any business or career you have, it's so important to have that professional image. The picture I had, kind of ugly background, but I figured I knew what I was doing, but I have no clue. But Michelle is really good at photography. So if any of you is interested, how should they contact you? Your Facebook page?
I have a Facebook page, Focus on Fabulous Creative Photography. I have a website, focusonfabulouscreativephotography.com. Actually, if you Google Focus on Fabulous, you're going to find me.
Okay.
I'm everywhere, yeah.
And that is true. I've actually done that.
You've been checking me out.
I always test people when they make those claims, but it is true. And, you were telling me that for your magazine business, Focus on Fabulous Magazine, you're having a social, right? You said
I am.
June
For
4th?
anybody who lives locally around the Charleston area, whenever the magazine comes out, this is our summer issue. It's due out June 1st. And I have a thank you to all my local peeps. And you can come by Amici's on behind Northwoods Mall in North Charleston from 12 to 2 on June 4th. And purchase your copy of the magazine. I'll give you a glass of Moscato wine on me. And just meet me. The girl that's on the cover is going to be there. She'll be signing it and make her feel so great. And it's just a nice social time to just get together. And it's kind of my thank you for support, local support.
That's great. And if they can't go to that, how else can they? They just go to your website, right?
They can go to the website to subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah, you can order actually a single issue. You can get it in print for a year. You can get it digitally. You just go on the website and say what you want.
Okay, great. Yeah, and so I think it was great of you to take the time to do this, Michelle. To those of you that are in the Charleston area, my next event is Social Media Game Night at the end of June. At 6:30, I think it's June 27th. I'm going to post all this information with Michelle in mind. It's a training where I do Facebook marketing in a game format. I always say, ditch the classroom. If anybody has found value in this video, please share it. You were saying the 100th person?
Oh yeah, we were thinking that the 100th person in the world, this isn't just a Charleston thing, because she has a huge following, who comments on the video, Cindy will let me know, and we will send you a complimentary issue of the latest magazine.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, can you explain about your other products?
Oh, okay. Well, if you go to my website, fofmagazine.com, there's a tab that says gifts. I have my photography available on some very cool things that you can use for gifts. This is a little bag. Here's a cup. There's laptop screens. I gave my mother the cup and the notebook for Mother's Day. These are greeting cards. There's all different. It doesn't matter if you're a beach lover or flowers or whatever, but there's all kinds of great gift ideas. We just started the subscription boxes. I mean, everybody loves to give presents. This is a great idea to give yourself, to give somebody. Just one time, 4 times a year, whatever. It's a box that's going to come right to your door anywhere in the world. It's going to have the magazine in it, so that's a $40 value right there. And then a whole bunch of goodies. I mean, just tons and tons of little goodies, pamper products, all kinds of, just little goodies. And it varies from box to box. The cool thing is, your birthday is when?
Of May 18th.
May. Okay, so you would have been in the spring issue. So if you had gotten a birthday box in May, a birthday box is different because it's going to have a wine glass that's going to say it's my birthday or something. It's going to be a customized wine glass. It's going to have a cake pop. It's going to have a birthday card signed by me. It's a special birthday box.
I like that.
So that's a little bit different than that. So you can go, oh, my present's here. I'm going to do, have my me time or whatever. And so that's another fun thing that we're offering. And it's a great, especially if you're not with somebody, 4 times a year, they're going to get a box. And it's very cool.
That's really great. I like that, Michelle. All right. Well, I'm going to be posting all her contact information. I recommend any of you that is interested by an issue of Focus on Fabulous Magazine or a subscription. I'm going to provide the link to her website and everything. But I want to thank everybody for following me and watching this video. If anybody's interested in a Facebook Live interview with me, please contact me. You can just write me a message on my Facebook page. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.